Hi everyone, today I want to show you how to crochet moss stitch. Some of you may know it as linen stitch or granite stitch, but to me it's always been moss stitch, so that's what I'm calling it. This stitch is a lovely dense stitch that's quick to work up, so it is brilliant for small projects like face cloths or dishcloths because it gives a lovely dense texture and it's really quick to work up, and it gives you the nice texture that you need if you're using it as a face cloth or dishcloth. But I also love to use it for baby blankets. I think as crochet stitches go, it gives a super modern look, especially when you block work your colour stripes like this. It doesn't look like your traditional crochet, it almost looks knitted. So without further ado, grab your hook, grab your yarn, and I'll show you how we do this stitch. The pattern multiple for moss stitch is really easy. You just need to chain an odd number of stitches. Doesn't matter how long your chain is, as long as it's an odd number of stitches, then this method will work. For the main body of any moss stitch that I use, particularly if it's a blanket, I go up one hook size from what I would normally use for the weight of yarn that I'm using. This is a double knit yarn, so I would normally use a 4mm hook, but for moss stitch I use a 4.5mm hook. Also, with the starting chain, where I would normally advise you to size up a hook size, for moss stitch I size down 2 hook sizes, because I find that when I work, the moss stitch chain pulls in so much that if I'm using a hook size that's bigger or even the same size or one size smaller, I get a ruffled bottom edge. So for my starting chain, I size down 2 hook sizes from the hook size that I'm using for the body of my work. So in this instance, as I'm using a 4.5mm hook for the work, I'm going to chain using a 3.5mm hook. I'm just making a small sample today, so I'm going to go ahead and chain 35, and I'll meet you back at the end of the chain. So I finished my starting chain now, so we want to get rid of this smaller hook, and we want to swap to the hook that we're going to use for the main body of our work. Our first stitch that we want to work into the 3rd chain from the hook. So this little loop here, that doesn't count as a stitch, so you want to count 1, 2, 3, and into that 3rd chain you want to work a single crochet. Then you want to chain 1, skip a stitch, and into the next chain along work a single crochet. Chain 1, skip a chain, and work a single crochet into the next chain. And you want to repeat that process all the way along your starting chain. So chain 1, miss a chain, into the next chain work a single crochet. Chain 1, miss a chain, and into the next chain work a single crochet. So if you go ahead and finish your first row, I'll meet you back at the end of the row to show you what we do next. Your last stitch in this row should be a single crochet into the last chain from the starting chain. For your second row, you want to chain 1 and turn your work. And for this row, we're going to be working into the spaces that the chain 1's created. We're not working into the stitches, we want to work into those chain 1 spaces. So into that first chain 1 space, you want to pop a single crochet. Chain 1, skip the single crochet, and into the chain 1 gap, work your next single crochet. It's a really nice easy repeat all the way along. Chain 1, single crochet into the chain 1 space, chain 1, single crochet into the chain 1 space, all the way along to the end of your row. When you get to the end of this first row, you have a choice. You can either work your final stitch into that gap at the beginning of the row where we worked our chain 3, or you can work into one of the starting chains. It really depends on what you prefer. I normally work into one of the chains, but again, it doesn't matter, just what you want to work one final single crochet into the end of this row, either into the gap created by the starting chain or just actually into one of the chains itself. One final single crochet. And this next row is our repeat row. Chain one and turn your work, and just like we did on the other row, it's the same repeat, but the last stitch is just worked slightly differently. So chain one, single crochet, chain one, single crochet, making sure that you are always working into that chain one gap that's created in the row below. Once we get to the end of the row and we're working our last stitch, you want to work your last stitch into this chain here, not into the space, but into the actual chain that you worked on your chain one turn. What this does is it gives a really nice, neat, straight edge all the way up, because you're keeping your edges nice and tight by working into that chain rather than working into the gap that it creates. So into that chain there, it can be quite tight. You want to push it through like that, pull up your loop and finish off your single crochet. I'll show you once more. To start the row, we chain one, into the chain one gap we work a single crochet, chain one and single crochet all along. The gaps are really nice and easy to find once you get going. So this is a really nice mindless stitch because you're not having to find an actual stitch, you can just feel for the chain one gaps. And that's why it's so nice and dense, because your rows overlap slightly. It's what makes it great for washcloths and dishcloths, but equally the denseness gives it a really modern feel when you're making a blanket. Once again, for our final stitch, we want to work into this chain from our chain one turn, push the hook in, pull up your loop and finish off your single crochet. I'm going to go away and do one more row, and then I will show you how you can change colour to still create that seamless join. When you want to change colour, you want to put your hook into that final chain and draw up a loop. So half of your single crochet, and instead of finishing off the single crochet with your existing colour, you want to get your new colour that you want to change to and use that new colour to finish off your single crochet. Then, because we are changing colour, and only because we are changing colour, we chain two instead of chaining one. Then you want to turn your work, and we work in exactly the same way with our chain ones and single crochets into the spaces from the row below. At the end of the row, you work your last single crochet into that chain one from the chain one turn, push it in nice and snug, When you hit the end of a colour change row, so this is our second row of new colour, you can see that because we've chained 2, everything's just a little bit tighter. So you want to find the first chain of your chain 2 and pop your hook into that first chain from the chain 2 and work your single crochet as before, and then everything just tightens up once you sew your ends in, and you end up with really lovely straight edges on your work. And that is how you crochet moss stitch. I really hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. If you have, please give it a thumbs up, and if you make anything using this stitch, then please tag me on social media, because I love to see what you are all making with my tutorials. That's all for today, and I'll see you again for another tutorial soon. Bye.